All right, guys. So we're going to move from talking about Death Row to talking about Black Adam. And we've got some news here that the Black Adam movie is gearing up to go forward. We were talking about The Flash a little bit earlier, but this time, Dwayne Johnson has kind of confirmed this stuff, and he's going to be the lead in this movie. So this is from Heroic Hollywood. Headline: Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam eyeing spring 2020 start date with Hawkman. This is by Nathaniel Braille. Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam is eyeing 2020 production start date, and he's bringing DC Comics icon Hawkman with him. Dwayne Johnson has had a long road to getting his Black Adam film made. He was originally set to appear in Shazam as the main antagonist until he and the studio decided to go a different route, giving Black Adam a solo film instead. The actor normally has a busy shooting schedule, and other projects took precedence, but now it looks like that's no longer the case. After years of waiting, we finally know when Dwayne Johnson will shoot his Black Adam film. According to a source with knowledge of the project, Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam is eyeing shooting in April 2020 after Red Notice finishes up, and it will have the anti-hero face-off against Hawkman. This confirms earlier reports by that hashtag show that Hawkman will have a major role in the film. Black Adam and Hawkman have a long history in the comics, so it makes sense that Dwayne Johnson included him in the movie. As described by fandom, Hawkman is a winged vigilante who fights crime using a flight harness made from nth metal and a mace. There have been several different versions of the character, along with love interests and partners such as Hawkgirl. Hawkman has made several live-action appearances before. The character appeared in Smallville and most recently on DC's Legends of Tomorrow. Hawkman coming to the big screen should come as no surprise, as DC has been pushing the character in live action for quite some time. And that's that. So, guys, Tom, your Midnight's Ed partner, Rob, liked to joke that, so what, that Hawkman's coming to the movies, he just dies all the time.
He's the day fly of the DC Comics.
Yeah, so what do you think? What do you think of Hawkman being the antagonist to Black Adam?
Honestly, I'm still surprised that Warner Brothers and DC is pushing this whole thing with The Rock being a villain. And how much of it is going to be Rock being the villain, and how much are they going to twist around and make Hawkman more of the villain? Because Hawkman...
Oh, we lost him.
I lost you for a second, then I lost myself. Yeah, I'm on my stupid phone. Sorry, guys.
You're back.
Okay, yeah, Hawkman's one of those characters, I suppose you could twist him to be a bad guy either way, I suppose, but what are they going to do with this? I just don't understand making The Rock a villain. Is it because he's bald and you can't make him Superman? I don't know. It's just...
the thing about Black Adam is that he's not really a villain necessarily. He is kind of Shazam's antagonist, but in the comics, from what I understand, he's more of a gray character. He's kind of like...
Well, I know he's fought Superman before and a few other things, yeah.
Yeah, but he kind of walks that line between being a bad guy and being the anti-hero.
So is that what they're going to do with this then, is make him more of a anti-hero and make Hawkman more of the villain?
Well, I think Hawkman's definitely going to be his antagonist. That doesn't mean that Hawkman's a bad guy. It just means that he's going to be the one who's going to be fighting Black Adam. And definitely they will probably set up a spin-off Hawkman stuff, because there's all types of things that you can do with the Hawkman. I look at this as DC kind of setting up a spin-off in a way. But it would have been nice to see Black Adam in the Shazam movie. We got a little bit of him, just very briefly. But, for the most part, it just seems like this is an odd choice, in my opinion.
I'm not surprised, because Shazam seemed to do all right. I don't think it was a huge hit, but it was received well, and I think it did okay at the box office. I don't have it in front of me here, but
yeah, it did okay.
I want to say it did 600-700 million altogether, something like that, or did it do more than that?
Pretty good movie too. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was pretty well received. I liked it. It would have made more sense to bring the Black Adam, or at least introduce him a little bit more into Shazam before they did this, because outside of the costume and like geeks knowing, I don't think the general audience is going to know much unless they plan on having Shazam show up in this movie too.
You can call me part of the general audience when it comes to Shazam and anything related to Shazam. I don't really know a lot about this character.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even
supposed to be a bad guy, but he's more of an anti-hero or something, right? According to the article. Or...
kind of waffles. Like sometimes he's a straight up villain, other times he's kind of an anti-hero. It just depends on like his whole thing is about protecting this this mystical land that he's kind of conquered. So sometimes he does good things in regards to that. Other times he's just straight up a bad guy.
And whenever I think of Hawkman, I go to Buck Rogers in the 25th century with Hawk and his cool ass Falcon spaceship. So, you know.
Well, the last incarnation of Hawkman that we got in Legends of Tomorrow was awful.
Well, I was gonna say I remember him on one of those shows, but I don't know if I saw the. Is that the one where they had the wife and him and they kept dying? And
yeah. And like he died like 2 episodes into the season, and like he was gone. And it was
that's
like
all Arrowverse stuff, right?
Yeah.
I quit watching
a lot of all that too. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just here's the thing with DC. I've noticed it's kind of funny with this Rock deal. They've had much better luck with casting lesser known actors than they have with the bigger named actors. It seems like.
Well, they've been wanting to work with The Rock for some time. He's been attached as Black Adam for quite a while, and I think that they just kind of decided, like, The Rock's a big enough star, we should give him his own movie. And I think The Rock.
I understand that. Yeah.
Does The Rock ever get a script that he doesn't want to make?
No.
I mean, that guy's in everything these days. It's crazy.
He's one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood right now.
He's shooting 3 movies as we speak. You guys realize that, right? Right at the same time, simultaneously.
And he just had a big movie come out.
He's constantly working, I swear.
Yeah.
Well, no, just like Ben Affleck didn't really seem to pan out for him, but Gal Gadot did. What's his face who plays Shazam seemed to work out pretty good. Sons of Aquamanarchy seemed to work out all right for him. These were lesser known people, and then you get like Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill and some of the bigger names that didn't quite pan out as well. It seems like, I don't know. Maybe this will be a different situation, but I mean, I guess if I want to see The Rock as a superhero, the last thing I would think of is Black Adam. I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
It's just me.
Well, the interesting thing here is that if they do like a Black Adam standalone film, then it would make sense to set up a Shazam 2 where, Zachary Levi's Shazam faces off with Black Adam. Because
that's what I was saying before, though. They almost have to connect it in this movie. Otherwise, people like Matt, like he was just saying, like Matt Vader, sorry, because I know you want to be called Matt. So
Matt's fine.
Well, I know, but there's 2 different Matts, so just to know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
Like Vader just said, he's part of the general audience, and outside of the costume, what signifies to you that these are part of the same universe? Nobody will know that, because Shazam is even just so. I'm surprised Shazam did as well as it did, and a lot of people that I talked to are like, "Oh, like that old TV show on Saturday mornings, like that's the only."
Yeah, I remember that TV show. That was a trip. Used to watch that and Underdog.
Yeah, I barely remember that show. I think I was like 6 when it was out. It was like 76, 77. It was like super old. So,
yeah. But the interesting thing about this Black Adam movie as well is that, Warner's has kind of said that they want to get away from the shared universe.
Mm-hmm.
But Shazam, it directly referenced like Spider-Man, Batman, or not Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, Aquaman. So
Shazam.
Tom, you're cutting out here, but basically, in addition, like with if Black Adam and Hawkman are going to be coming out together, then that introduces Hawkman into the Shazam universe, and so Shazam seems to be kind of the new center of connections for all these movies that are coming out that are supposedly supposed to be like separate,
Well, I think part of that was because Shazam successfully integrated itself into the DC, I almost said MCU, DCEU, and also at the same time stood alone. Like there was enough callbacks to the other movie, but it was a completely different tone. And I think they finally realized, we can do this kind of like Marvel does.
They didn't need to add in all those connections in the movie. They could have easily
they could have left them out
if they really wanted to kind of ditch this whole shared universe idea.
I don't think people would be as critical of a Shazam universe either, because everybody knows Superman and Batman and the Justice League people, whereas Shazam is kind of like always been kind of its own thing. It's like, I'm not going to compare a Shazam movie to 50 years of Justice League stuff that I know about, you know. So.
Right. And Matt's right. I mean, it could have been on its own. You didn't have to connect it. The only thing you would have had to change is the one kid would have been into like comic books instead of being obsessed with like Batman and Superman and stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's the only. I mean, he could have still been obsessed with them, but as like the fictional versions, not the cinematic versions that they tied to this version, which I kind of liked because it's almost like a Deadpool thing to where it's like, yeah, they keep making fun of, they keep referencing him, but we'll never really get to see him, and then that's part of the joke at the end. Even though we know why we didn't get to see Superman's face, it works in the joke because they're so outside of Captain Marvel's world or whatever, Shazam's world, whatever you want to call him. You know, because I think they call him Shazam in the movie anyway.
Yeah, they changed his name from Captain Marvel to Shazam officially. But it looks like we're definitely getting a Black Adam movie, and it looks like Hawkman is definitely going to be a part of that. Hey, thanks for checking out this video. I hope you got a lot out of it. And remember, if you want to support the channel, please check us out on the socials. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Matthew Kadish. You can also find our discussion group over on Facebook at eggfbgroup.com. That's eggfbgroup.com. Takes you right to our Facebook discussion group. And if you'd like to help support the channel, check out my books over on Amazon.com. You can find them by going to kadishbooks.com. That's Kadish books.com. And as always, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so you're notified every time we upload a new video for more movie, TV, and entertainment news and analysis. This is Matthew Kadish. I'll catch you guys later.